Okay, I'd like to call this Board of Education regular meeting to order Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 at 7:02. Can I have a roll call?
Mrs. McPhillips? Here. Mr. Poljack?
Here.
Mrs. Theodore? Here. Mrs. Urbach Barnfield? Here. Mr. Berardi?
Here.
Mr. Trabuzio?
Here. We have a quorum. Let's do the pledge of allegiance led by students.
Okay, students, will you start us? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good job.
Amanda, would you read the mission statement?
The mission of Norwich School District 80 is inspiring educational excellence in a nurturing environment.
Thank you. Celebrate the success of multilingual students.
I'd love to invite all of our students of honor up to the front here by the board. We're also going to be joined over by our principals from each of the buildings. Okay, so our students of honor this month are actually our ML students. So just to give a little bit of information for the board yet again, and also to our families as well, our ML students. So the Norwich School District 80 currently serves about 327 students who are identified as multilingual. What basically gets you that qualification? If you are a student who has an exposure to another language other than English at home, you are in that category. So there actually have 28 different languages that are represented in this district. We are a very, very diverse district. It's a wonderful thing. But as a result, every year we do require our students with multilingual designation to go through an access test, basically to see how proficient you are with the English language. So it is exactly just that. We do it every year. It's something that is mandated by ISB. We do have a lot to just figure out, how far have you come in terms of mastering that English proficiency. And we do that test every January through March typically. So again, this is just a little bit more about access testing, just to kind of understand what we are looking for, to understand if there's academic proficiency in English. We look at listening, speaking, reading, writing, and we basically take an overall, the state actually takes an overall composite score in these different categories. We kind of mix and match to see how well you guys really understand English as a whole. So when exiting ML services, we really focus on that 4.8 or above in that composite score. And that basically means you get enough of an English language exposure that you can do very well in that academic proficiency or that academic setting. And we really do have a pretty good, strong command of the English language. So for that reason, we have a huge celebration today because we at both buildings this year celebrate 38 students who are exiting out of multilingual services, so you no longer need that additional support. You have that proficiency. This is a huge celebration for all of the students that you see up here, plus some, as well as our wonderful teachers who've been supporting them throughout the entire year under unwavering support. So we have quite the list here. As you can see, 38 kiddos. This is just a small group of what we have. These are our wonderful students. We wanted to actually recognize all of you for your hard work and achievements. We actually have different certificates for all of you with your building principal. So if you want to actually go ahead and stop by them, we will actually have something for you. Go on. So again, well done to all of these students, well done to you at home for your hard work and commitment to celebrating bilingualism. We really appreciate it in this district. And again, a very, very high commendation to everyone involved in supporting our students.
While they're getting those out, just to remind the board that this year we have increased our staff to support multilingual students with bilingual teachers in Polish and Ukrainian at both schools and bilingual Spanish support at Lee. Next year will be at Lee and at Giles. So under Mr. Masters and Mr. Bledsoe's leadership, the bilingual program, we saw 4 students last year exit. out of, by the Access Task Force. This year, at 38, it's really wonderful growth, and we're very proud of our students, very proud of our staff, and of course our families who are here to support us and to work with us on helping our students on their English proficiency.
If the board would like, we'd like to have a picture with the rest of our students. So you guys would come on.
What, the students do?
Yes, no, yeah, this is.
Okay, so can you have the students introduce themselves?
Absolutely.
Would you like to hear their language also?
Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Students can introduce themselves and share their language that they speak?
Absolutely. So what we'll do, guys, is if you here, let's go ahead and kind of get somewhat of a line here, and then we can kind of go down. If you can share your name, what grade you're in, and then the language that you speak at home other than English. We would love to hear a little bit more. So why don't we start? Would you like to share your name, your grade, and what language you speak?
I think you have a couple of new students.
Oh, wonderful.
You want to grab them too?
Come on over. Come on over. Come over and find your principal. We're going to recognize you for your hard work and achievements. All right. Why don't you go ahead? So your name, your grade, and what language you speak at home.
So I'm Sasha Kova, and I'm in 4th grade, and at home I speak Korean. When I'm around 4th grade, and at home I speak Korean. Hi, my name is Taylor, and I'm from 4th grade, and I speak English very well. My name is Sophie, and I'm in 4th grade, and at home I speak Spanish.
My name is Yanni, and I'm in 4th grade, and I speak with
My name is Julie, I'm in 8th grade, and I speak English.
My name is Bill, and I'm in 6th grade, and I speak Korean.
My name is Olympic, and I'm Sasha, and I speak Ukrainian and Russian, and I'm 6th grade.
My name is Dylan, I'm in the 7th grade, and I speak Polish.
My name is John, and I speak Albanian. My name is Peter, and I speak Serbian.
I mean, look at just the language. Any other students, please come and join them. Get your certificate. Any other students that are sitting that just came in? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure we get everybody. So I don't know, I kind of lost count. What, 5 or 6 languages?
We
just
have
from
at least,
the
yeah, right
students that
there,
are
and we
here?
have 5, 6 languages right here within this small group. But again, it's a wonderful thing of just how many students have made such great progress this year. And again, bilingualism is such an asset to your students. You guys have such bright futures ahead of you. It really is a wonderful skill. So keep up the hard work, okay?
Do we want to have our last students introduce themselves?
Absolutely. Very fun. Can you see in your group, in your language you speak at home?
My name is Sophia, I'm in 4th grade, and I speak Korean.
On to action item, consider motion to approve the agenda as modified, with those modifications being 18A3, preschool teacher name Laura Sparks Kennedy, and 18A10, was a little typo, John Joe is the Director of Technology. Can I get a motion? Laura and Renzo, roll call please.
Mrs. Urbach Barnfield?
Yes.
Mr. Berardi?
Yes.
Mr. Polchak?
Yes.
Mrs. McPhillips?
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore?
Yes.
Mr. Tribuzio?
Yes, motion passes. Recognition of visitors, no longer really visitors, but we have the students and their families, it was very nice. Any correspondence?
Nope.
There is no public participation, as there is no public. FOIA requests, there are 5 this month, they could be reviewed at the district website like every month as published. 11, administrative reports, Superintendent Mrs. Guzik.
Thank you. All of my reports in my discussion tonight.
Very good, thank you. Special education, Mr. Masters.
So a couple things. We recently held our timely and meaningful consultation, which is required by our the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. That's something that we do to kind of talk about what parentally placed non-public school students are offered in terms of special education supports. So something that we offer by the Hitch. We do also have a really great opportunity for a preschool. They got to have a laser show on May 15th. It was a fun and memorable experience for them. So we definitely appreciated that opportunity to kind of bring our families together and have a very cool end of the year celebration.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Building reports, Giles School, Mr. Bietti.
Yes, thank you. Tomorrow is 5th grade DARE graduation. The doors will open at 8:45 in the morning and the ceremony will start at 9 a.m. You are all invited if you are able to attend. We will have 4th grade fly-up for our current 4th graders, and that will be this Thursday, May 22nd. The doors will open at Giles at 5:15 and the presentation will begin at 5:30. This is an opportunity for our 4th graders to come in, learn all about Giles School, meet the staff, and take a tour of the facility. And then finally, actually I have 2 more things. 8th grade graduation is Tuesday, June 3rd at Ridgewood High School. The gates will open at 6:15. The ceremony will begin at 7. It'll be indoors in the field house. And then finally, for any individual student that is interested in joining athletics next school year, as a reminder, all students that are interested in trying out must have a physical on file. So over the summer is the perfect opportunity to get a physical so that your child can participate in athletics next school year. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Lee School, Dr. Rabbiola.
So a couple upcoming events I wanted to share out. Next week from today, actually, we will have our field day event that the PTA is sponsoring. So that's always an exciting day. On June 4th, we'll have our kindergarten celebration, which will be splitting into 2 separate celebration times. One, I believe, is at 9 a.m. and the other at 11. Then we also have our preschool celebration that afternoon, early evening on June 4th as well. Also, we have completed all of our end-of-year assessments. So now we're in the phase of shifting all that assessment data, analyzing that, working with our building leadership team on developing our school improvement plan. And we are looking forward to sharing that with the board next month. So really excited to share all that out in a couple more weeks.
Thank you. Discipline reports, Giles.
Yes, I will give the report for Mrs. Gulo. We had 1 in-school suspension in violation of board policy 7:190, 7, 9, and 21. We had 1 in-school suspension in violation of board policy 7:190, 21. We had 2 in-school suspensions in violation of board policy 7:190, number 9 and 21. We had 1 in-school suspension in violation of board policy 7:190, 1, 3E, 3F, 3H, 18, and 21. We had 2 out-of-school suspensions in violation of board policy 7:190, number 3A, 3E, 3F, 3H, 18, and 21. We had 1 out-of-school suspension in violation of board policy 7:190, number 1, 3A, 3E, 3F, 3H, 18, and 21. And we had 1 in-school suspension in violation of board policy 7:190, number 7, 9, and 21. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Lee School.
We have nothing to report.
That's a nice counterpoint. We just heard. Monthly staffing report, and you could address it with respect to that. Okay, board committees. So touching on May 1st, the reorganization meeting, I have some notes here on what was discussed. Education is a committee of the whole. It's good as is. Board policy and development, I was going to take that on. Lauren, did you say that you'd like to? Building and grounds, that's one I've always held dear to my heart, and I like to stay on. If anybody else would like for building and grounds,
I would like to.
okay. Behavioral intervention is another committee of the whole that's worked. Negotiations and human resources being a negotiations year, I think it wise we remain as is, Enzo, Amanda, and myself. Finances work very well as a committee of the whole. Communications, Fanny, yourself, and Jen, you asked. That's good. Norwich Park District, I have a note here of Lorenzo, and Amanda, you were interested?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, these are taking shape. I can imagine we'll still have some leeway in the coming month to we needed to change. And superintendent. What's that?
You always can make the change.
Sure.
It is the president's right.
Okay. Okay, good. Those are coming along. Discussion items?
Thank you. So with that, as you all notice, obviously, there are just 6 individuals for the Board of Education, and we need a 7th. So we are out with applications right now for the Board of Education, and the interview process is our next step, and then we can discuss our next steps after that. That is something we'll talk more specifically about in closed today, and who has applied, and then we'll talk about our next steps. That would be the board would interview all interested candidates, and then make a decision based on the interviews, and then the next meeting swear in the new person, which we're hoping, I think, for at the June 17th meeting. 8th grade graduation, as Mr. Biecki mentioned, is at 7 p.m. Doors opening, I think he said, at 6:15 at Ridgewood High School. Please let Mrs. Garcia know if you will be attending, so we can make sure that you have an honorary seat for that. And we have, in the past, allowed board members to give their diplomas to their children. So if you have an 8th grader, please make sure you let us know as well, and if that's your choice that you'd like to do that. Summer school. So we have some numbers for summer school now. Summer school is starting on June 9th and running till June 27th. Now, as you recall, summer school in the past has been running off of ESSER funds. We are done with ESSER funds now. So summer school was a paid event for most of our students. We did have a small number of students who are multilingual students that qualified in a grant, and a small group of Title I students that also qualified in the grant. But we have 165 students total in summer school for the 14 days. We had 159 last year. So I think that shows that even though it is still a paid program at this point, it is something that our families want to invest in, and that we should consider to continue. I think if we saw a decline in our numbers, that might be something that we'd have a discussion about, but we're really not seeing. We're seeing a pretty steady amount. ESY, which I think we have 14 students, I think, in ESY next year. Mr. Masters, I think that's right, like 14 students?
We might be up to 15, we have a late entry.
So ESY is a little bit different. Extended school year is for students who qualify for special education services that will continue to receive services in the summer of those 14 days in June. So a little different process, and of course that is free to families. So we're starting June 6th is a teacher plan day, and then we're starting June 9th through June 27th. And of course, there's no school on June 19th.
Quick question, 165 students, how many staff members?
I have that in the approval form tonight. I'm not remembering right off the top of my head.
And out of all the staff, are they all District 80?
Correct.
Okay.
They are District 80.
Because I know in the past that they had first bids on
They
if
do.
they wanted to, and then
yes.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So they're all District 80 staff?
All District 80 staff. So District 80 staff who, I don't want to use the volunteer word because they get paid, but who works at ESY and then also who works in school.
Okay.
And that list is being approved tonight, so we'll look at that during closed,
Okay.
since that is a personnel issue. Any other questions about that?
No, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We're continuing residency and registration. Our families are completing online registering and registration. I think that's going very well. And the new system is very user-friendly, so if you have not completed that yet, please do so. You know, we really need that information for planning. At this point in the year, both of our schools are working on staff lists and school lists and placing students, so please, if you haven't already completed registration, residency, please do that. Any new students to the district or any full-day kindergarten students must register in person. It's a little different with full-day with the tuition part. So there is a deposit that's required, and then as you recall, the board has a policy that has to be paid by December 31st. So it's a little bit of a different process with that, where we have the parents put down a deposit and then sign that they understand it needs to be paid. It's been very successful the last 2 years, with all families paying by that date, which is great. Curriculum fees and band. We started something a little different this year. Typically, Mr. Vaccaro doesn't start having people register for band until the first, second week of September, but you know, why wait? So we've already started. Mr. Biecki's been sending out the link for families to register for either cadet or concert band, which is $245, which really, considering everything, the whole year of practices and concerts and rehearsals, is really very minimal. So we've already started our families signing up for that. So if you're interested, please check out Mr. Biecki's tracks. They'll have that information on the link, or contact Mr. Vaccaro. As far as curriculum fees go, our early bird discount ends on, the last day to pay that is May 31st. So starting June 1st, our fees will go up to $325 from $275. So if you have not paid that yet, please take advantage of paying that early bird discount at $275 before that increase happens. Also, just to remind everyone that we are accepting waivers that are based on need. So if a family needs a waiver, we certainly work with families on waivers. We'll work with families on payment plans as well, just to reach out, and we will help families. So really exciting, our school resource officer is finally coming together for next year. So we have 4 candidates in the Norwich Police Department that are interested. The admin team, so I think it's going to be Bob and Sean and I will be interviewing one of them, I believe, on the 13th of June, and then 3 of them on the 17th of June. So probably at the next board meeting, I'll have a report about it, but probably won't know who the person is yet. We do have a new agreement that is with our legal team right now, so we'll probably approve that next month as well. The police department wanted to just update some things, not a big deal, but we'll have that next, I should have that next month. And then that person will start August of 2025. I have been assured by the police department that once we have an individual in place, that we will continue that position until we don't want it anymore, if that was the case. We, of course, will start some planning this summer with the individual, and then hit up the traffic right away at Lee at the training point, and then, of course, talk about what support they can provide for education and training at Giles. So we're really excited about this, and 4 individuals to interview.
Let's just say hypothetically, you interview, you hire, you say this is the right fit. A year goes by, you're like, well, we thought he was the right fit. Do we have an option are we always going to have that option of getting a new one?
Yes.
If that doesn't work out? Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not like they're saying, hey, they're out of a job at that point. They're not, we have another person that.
Yeah, if it's not a good fit for us, we don't even have to wait till all the way at the end of the year. If it's not a
Okay.
good fit for us, we can contact the police department and relook at that. that fit and find the right person for us. I think it's nice that we have 4 candidates.
Yeah.
And hopefully, then we find the person that's best for us. I mean, obviously, this is a lot about relationship building. It's not about, finding students or having negative, scaring students about anything. It's really just about building relationships and a big education piece, especially at Giles. So we're really excited about that. I know that is something that the board has tasked me to do, I think, 2 years now. So we're finally getting there, getting it together. So today at your desk, you have the 600 policies, which we're not going to review at all. That is something that you should review and look at for next month. And then you also have the Press 118 policies, which we're not taking any action on tonight. That will be something that you'll review. There are some main parts of the Press 118 policies that I will point out to you. This is the part, these are the policies now that are going back to the 2020 Title IX policies. That's a very large part of this bundle. Also is a big part about artificial intelligence. So that's becoming a bigger and bigger thing in schools today. So it is recommended that we create some policies around AI and the use of AI in school districts. So there are some things we're gonna have some decisions to make about that. The other thing that is very large in this press release is sexting and having policies against sexting in the school district. So updating those policies and really making sure that they are the policies that we are looking for. So you'll see at the beginning of the memo, we'll just basically have what the main terminology is, and then it'll go into what the main areas that they're looking for, and then at the end there are the specific policies that are being looked at to be updated. As you can see on page 7 of the release, those policies on Title IX grievance, response, formal complaints, coordinator, those are all completely rewritten or deleted from what they were before the new federal policies that were just passed. So there's going to be a lot of change in this. I know that tonight we talked about a policy committee, so and I make sure I say this correctly and who's on it. We have Lauren and Frank on policy. I would recommend that at some point, and we could do this in June, that we have a policy meeting separate from the meeting of the whole, where we read through these and look at what's the right thing for our district. Because there is some leeway and some decisions to be made on these policies.
So, question about that. When we get this, periodic times when we get this.
About 4 times a year.
Yeah. It includes that which the state is saying will be legal requirement to adopt this policy, and suggestions as to what we need to make, what we should consider we would like as our role.
Correct. That is correct. Sometimes most of the things in policy, as this is just an update to the law, or it's an update to a footnote, or it's an update to a date. If you think back on when the board, when some of you on the board had started, when they did the comprehensive sex standards, that policy update was also very specific with you could do this or you could do this. And we actually spent a lot of time on those policies. This issue is another issue like that we need to spend a little time on what's right for us in our district. So unpacking that, I think, would be best with the committee that, is now, of course, Lauren and Frank. So if we can find a date, we can talk about what would be a good time for us to meet. I do recommend that the board, as a whole, still look at the 600s, still look at the press policies. It's still good to look at, even if you're not on that committee, and to be aware of what the policies are. The 600s that you have today in this little policy bundle is instruction. This is a heavy area and could be just an area that the board has more interest in than some of the other areas. because it has a little more of individuality that can be changed or added to it. So we're not taking any action on any of this tonight. What we are taking action on tonight are the 500s. Oh, I'm sorry, let me explain this too. This bundle, this very large bundle that you have, this is the actual policies from 118 with the suggested changes or updates. So if you look at, for example, if you turn the page and you're on that second page of your handout, you can see like some of the new suggested language that's on there. Or if it's in blue and crossed off, you can see what they've suggested to take out. So you kind of have to work with both of these at the same time. This will give you the 360 view. This is going to give you the actual language. So tonight I am asking the board to approve on first read the 500 changes, which are not very significant. 5:20 is to update the date and name of the BOE President Secretary. 5:30 is to add the word designee after the board president in 3 spaces. We did go into a little bit deeper with these last month, and I gave you the actual policy language. 5:185 is language cleanup. The word following is written there twice. So I am asking is in consent tonight to pass that on first read, and then next month we'll do second read, and then we will change these policies in press. Any questions about policy? So super exciting tonight. We have an architect firm, a new architect firm. Very excited about. So as you recall, when we put out the request for qualifications, 10 firms responded. We then did the rubric. That went down to 5 firms. We did 2 second-round interview, and now we are down to 1 final firm. So our final recommendation tonight that I am asking the board to approve the contract with is WOLD, W-O-L-D, WOLD Architects and Engineers. They have in fact already started with us in our conversations. One thing that the board had previously approved was the looking at the stage area at Giles and the hopeful removal of that stage area that's in the small gym where the students eat lunch. So taking down that stage will mitigate some of our issues that are on our life safety plan. For safety, there is some asbestos in that area that is safe right now. It's not touched, it's way under the stage, but we'll be mitigating that, as well as opening up that area for possible restructuring of the lunchroom. Also, putting everything up to code, we need a 3-section sink down there, so we'll be able to move everything down off the top layer, make kind of a quasi little kitchen area, nothing where we're cooking food. We're still looking at Organic Life coming in next year, but just being able to serve, have a service line, and put it on the floor, those kind of things. So there is tonight an amendment to our life safety plan that'll just clarify what exactly we're doing in that work. And then that money that we would spend on that will come out of 90, which is our life safety funds. Really excited about this.
As having been involved in the request for qualifications or reviewing the 10 firms and then involved in the day of 5 interviews, I share that excitement in working with Wolf. They were very nice to talk to, and from the get-go there was a good feeling, and it's good to be moving along with this.
Yeah, very excited. I feel like we've been stuck in a spot for a while. So it'll be good. So we are looking at, the bids came in back on the summer asbestos work. So as you may recall, we've been working with the village and the asphalt work. Did I say the wrong word? Yes, I did. Asbestos, thank you. There's asphalt right there. Sorry about that. Thank you for correcting me. The asphalt work. So we've been working with the village, because the village is also working on an asphalt project, and we've been working with the engineers that the village has acquired, and we went out to bid on our areas. So we're looking at a full grind and pour of the Lee parking lot. So that's the only area that we have full 4 inches down, full re-pour of the parking lot. As you know, there are some areas in the parking lot that are sinking in. So this is a big project for us. They'll be doing that in July, once all of the staff is not at Lee any longer for summer school. Then we're gonna be doing some seal coating on our south lot, our north lot. Seal coating, of course, is not grinding down, but it's just sealing, patching. And then at Giles on Cullen and Oriole, we'll be seal coating the courtyard area. Giles will be seal coating, re-establishing the basketball court lines and any other lines that we'd like. Now the good thing in this is the asphalt work came in actually lower than expected on the bid, which is great. The bad thing is that this is in the state maintenance grant, and we need to spend $100,000. And this came in lower than that. So Derek is attending a meeting with the company, I believe it's Thursday, and looking at what other areas that we can do and add in, because there is a per square foot amount in the quote. We wanted to go back out to bid on it and seeing what we can add in for the $100,000 state maintenance grant. That is a 50% grant, so we pay 50, the state will reimburse 50. So this is a good problem to have, good problem. The only area that we're really staying away from right now, which is unfortunate and the right thing to do, is the Lee courtyard. So the Lee courtyard, as you know, we have had some mitigation of some flooding in there. However, we really need a whole full scope plan for the Lee courtyard as far as the water. I don't know if we want to look at what happens is it's a continual cycle of, many times we put down grass or we put down sod, and then, through the winter, through the water, everything is gone. The 100 kids per class a day on there several times a day just don't allow that to continue. And that is the main area, because that's where the playground, the red playground is in the courtyard, which we like because it's secure, it's safe, yet we need to mitigate the water issue back there. So that is something that we'll have to have the architect work on, and we're gonna need an engineer to look into that water mitigation. Despite the work that's been done in there and the drains that were added in there, we're not flooding into the building, which is successful. Because as you recall, we did an epoxy filling on the building, dug down, filled in some holes and things, but we're still just not able to keep anything growing back there. So we have to look at what would be the best thing. Do we need to look at some kind of artificial turf in there? We also want to look at the area that's underneath the red playground and perhaps look at that spongy playground covering that's just safer and a better environment for our students. That actually can be taken out of life safety, which is good. So that's just an area we're not going to touch right now through the asphalt. Tonight I'm asking you to approve an agreement with Wipfli, our audit company, for the FY25 audit. Looking forward to that. Mrs. DeVore is working on the dates for that now. That'll be coming up soon, and that's my report.
Thank you. Consent agenda. I need a motion to approve 14A through 14I. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Lauren? Fanny? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Erbach Harmfield,
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore,
Yes.
Mr. Poljak,
Yes.
Mr. Berardi,
Yes.
Mrs. McPhillips,
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio.
Yes. Motion passes. Action items. Consider approval of architect services with Wold Architects and Engineers. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Amanda?
Second.
Fanny? Roll call, please.
Mrs. McPhillips?
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore?
Yes.
Mrs. Erbach Burnfield?
Yes.
Mr. Birdy?
Yes.
Mr. Pojek? Mr. Trabuzio?
Yes. The motion passes. Board comments, any comments?
I have a comment. I just want to say thank you to Mr. Bianchi and Mrs. Guzik for a very successful trip to Washington DC. It really exceeded my expectations. You could really tell the dedication put into planning it, and I think everyone had a really great time, so thank you for doing that.
It was a lot of fun, despite the rain.
Yeah.
I'm told it was a very successful trip. Thank you both.
We also had a great day yesterday in Springfield.
Oh.
Didn't rain on, just a little bit on us, but that was with the seventh grade trip.
The Springfield trip it had been reinstated how many years ago?
I didn't hear the question.
I think only
The
two.
Springfield trip, this is just yesterday was the third year since being reinstated?
Second.
Second, okay. As was Washington.
Correct.
Second time.
Yeah,
That's good.
good time. Thank all of our parents that came with us as well.
I have a question rather than a comment. So, in regards to the sports for the conference, is there any sports that other schools offer that we don't? No.
Not that I'm aware of.
I have heard they're starting to add flag football.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's not formal yet, I don't think it's out to everyone yet.
I didn't
but
hear it,
Conference
yeah.
is talking about that.
Yeah. I was asked by a parent if golf is an option.
No, it is not, no. Oh, and they're talking about adding wrestling as well.
Cool. Like football.
I think wrestling might already even be there.
And both offered, obviously, for girls and boys, or is it like a co-ed?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
The flag football is not finalized yet.
Yeah.
The wrestling, I believe, is.
Any other board comments? Okay, on to closed session. Consider motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired, student disciplinary case, and review of closed session minutes. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Amanda?
Second.
No, two motions. Roll call, please.
Mrs. McPhillips?
Yes.
Mr. Pojek?
Yes.
Mrs. Erbach Burnfield?
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore?
Yes.
Mr. Birdy?
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio?
Yes, motion passes. We will go into closed session at 7:50 now, and we'll start at 8 p.m. We are now back in open session at 10:23. We're going to move on to personnel action items. I need a motion to approve 18A1 through 18C3. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Amanda and Lauren, roll call, please.
Mrs. McPhillips?
Yes.
Mrs. Erbach Burnfield?
Yes.
Mr. Pojek?
Yes.
Mrs. Theodore?
Yes.
Mr. Birdy?
Yes.
Mr. Trabuzio?
Yes, the motion passes. Board meeting reflection. I would like to propose that we remove this moving forward. Month to month, I can't see what we do not already say or can say in board comments earlier in all our agendas. And we're in open session enough in every meeting to where we will and continue to discuss whatever things we need to as we do. So, does anybody feel the same way?
Yeah. Second.
Okay. Now, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting at 10:24. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The meeting is now adjourned.